Hello everyone, it's Lauren Ratcliffe, and for those of you that don't know me, I was diagnosed on the autism spectrum at a time when it was poorly understood, which was way back in 1987, and at that time they called it pervasive developmental disorder. And when Asperger's syndrome was introduced into diagnostic literature in 1994, I was given that diagnosis. I've decided to title this video "The Pressure to Succeed" because there are times in my life where I felt immense pressure to overcome a lot of stuff. Much of my growing up life, I felt the pressure to succeed, and it worsened my anxiety, and that in turn caused more intense meltdowns. I feel like my parents really cared about me, but at the same time, I felt like they were abnormally pushy on some stuff. And here's the things that I felt like they were abnormally pushy about me with. I was in therapy for half my childhood for social and emotional skills, which was from 4th grade all the way to my junior year of high school. And in therapy, I was taught to control my emotions versus actually talking about my feelings and what can I do to avoid stuff that would bother me. Well, I was pushed to use the techniques that I was taught in therapy growing up. And I did my best to use those techniques, but I don't feel like it actually truly helped my problems because I felt trapped. If I were to admit that I felt a certain way before I actually got upset about anything, it was wrong because I was not even allowed to have any feelings of disappointment. I had to totally deny those feelings or push them out of my system. And part of emotional and social skills training was to look and act confident when you're struggling. I disagree with that. Number 2, my mom pushed me to work hard in school, and when I was younger, it truly gave me the idea that she wasn't going to be happy with me if I didn't make really good grades. But on the flip side, if I got out of control upset over making less than an A, she would get on to me for feeling that way. And I will admit, my mom told me when I was an adult that she later regretted that, and why she did it. She told me that she pushed me because she always felt like I was very smart but couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting higher grades. Well, the truth was, I felt bad about myself and I felt pressured to succeed. And any academic environment just gave me a lot of anxiety, and because of my autism, I didn't learn things the way that normal kids did. And part of what I learned in my growing up years was the importance of powering through everything when you're having a bad day. And this was mom and dad that forced it on me. What I believe in doing is taking breaks as needed and setting boundaries, but don't give up. You may need to redirect yourself. And because of this, my mom and dad didn't believe in the idea of showing emotion, no slipping through the cracks of any time, and no calling in sick. I believe if you're honest with yourself and you're able to know what you're feeling and accommodate for yourself when you need something, that's a sign of true strength. Number 4, my mom got rid of my Barbie doll house when I was 19 because she felt worried about what people would think about us when we had company over. What other people think is not you. And if someone would have said something to me about having a Barbie doll house at 19 and still playing with it, then you know what? That was their problem. It wasn't mine. And that's what people need to understand. That's judgment. And my mom also told me later that she truly regretted getting rid of my Barbie doll house out of fear of what other people would think. Number 5, my dad did work with me on learning how to drive, and thankfully, because of that, I got my license when I was 17. And number 6, my parents forced me to learn stuff that they were raised on. Were they wrong? No. But unfortunately, like I said in many of my other videos, some stuff just does not work for autistic children. So as for opinion-based decisions in parenting, if your child on the spectrum is still living with you at home and they're 18 or older and they drive and they decide to make a decision that you disagree with, be cool with it. If it's not illegal, if it's safe, and also be supportive of them. If I feel pushed to achieve something, if I feel tired, and if I want to achieve a goal for some reason and can't achieve it, it results in intense frustration and anxiety for me. And of course, low self-esteem. And it's always done that. And when that happens, guess what? Then here come the uncontrollable meltdowns and the stemming behaviors that result. In conclusion, I personally feel like it's a good idea to learn how the autistic mind works. Each child is affected by autism differently. If your child/loved one gets frustrated easily, my best advice would be to figure out what works best for your child, set boundaries, be encouraging without being pushy and super strict. Be okay with it if your child makes decisions that are opinion-based that you disagree with, as long as it's safe, legal, and it won't impact the rest of their life. Alright guys, I want to thank everyone for listening, and if you don't care, would you please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing, because there is a lot more to come. God bless you. Have a great day. Bye.